And we are live. How's it going, everybody?
What's that noise? Who is that?
Who's that little guy?
Don't see it. Don't see it.
Anyone see Wasabi? Where's Wasabi at?
Today, with us today, we have a very small guest. He's doing the Lord's work. He's actually creating new all-time highs by himself. If you look really, really closely in the top left corner, you might be able to see him drinking his sweet Gaines juice. Is that you up there?
You might have heard of this.
That is me up
this
there.
3-wave, otherwise known as the expansion phase.
Wasabi's expanding himself, actually.
Yeah, I am. I need to get like a what do they call it's those really powerful telescopes so I could see people from all the way up here.
bro, can you just like move yourself? Can you just like ride the wave a little bit and then project where we're going?
Yeah, maybe start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. Come on, I know you got OBS
before time itself. There you go. Before the big
before
bang.
time there was nothing. Before everything there was only Wasabi.
All right.
And then Wasabi said, "Let there be life."
So
and then,
wait, black it out, bro. Black it out. You gotta start black out your camera first.
Yeah, black it out. We gotta tell the story. Ready?
All right. I'll just give me a sec here. Give me a sec.
Guys.
All right. There we go.
Oh, that didn't quite work. All right, yeah. Here, let's get out of here.
I wanted to basically just tell what the I wanted to basically give a illustration of the impulse waves. Show you what it looks like.
In the time before crypto existed, there was one chartist named Wasabi. And let his journey of Hex begin.
Yeah.
So one man with a dream and a vision. First Hex dumped and everybody thought it was dead. And then Wasabi bought more.
Wait. That's where Crypto Crown or whatever said it was trash. Right down to that dip. Yep.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of haters come off on that one.
Now
Wasabi kept riding. He kept riding, and then he
Wasabi believed.
Expansion phase. Wasabi believed, but all the naysayers doubted. Okay, Wasabi believed. Then we entered a period of consolidation for a long time.
Very, very boring for us streamers.
Yeah, 3 months of boredom. Guess what Wasabi was doing? He was buying Hex the whole time.
Buying
it,
making mad gains.
Buying it, and guess what? Big payday came around. Wasabi didn't blink. He was staked the whole time. He didn't care.
He bought
a bunch of people bought, bunch of people sold because they were paper hand little pleb boys. But Wasabi didn't care. He just kept going. Wasabi just kept riding that pump. He rode that pump back up to 2 cents. New Year's Day. Cheers to Wasabi. Cheers to 2021.
Some douchebag sold it down to 1 cent.
Somebody painted the chart, and there he goes on his merry little way. Look at that little guy. He's just
having a good old time, making trustless interest.
He kept buying, and there's that little pump that we were all excited about, back to 2 cents. Then there's that little tiny dip where a bunch of paper hand soy boys were like, "Why didn't you tell me to buy at 2 cents? Now it dropped to 1.5 cents." Oh, because motherfucker, guess what? Now we're take off, lift off,
and left behind.
And here's Wasabi sitting at the top, laughing, just laughing.
Laughing at all the plebs crying at the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Why did we? What's the point we're trying to make here, guys? What's the point?
Something about founders and holders becoming the richest people in crypto. I think that was the point.
I think you're spot on with that. I think what I want to reiterate for anyone that's new here, right, is if you're not in Hex on a multi-year time frame, you're going to get screwed by the day-to-day fluctuations. Hex is extremely volatile. It's not really anything, like we joke about it, but if you're getting in for the first time and your coin drops 50%, you're going to panic and probably want to sell because you're not going to realize that this is designed to last long term. And you really can't have a short-term mentality in this kind of thing in crypto in general because you're not going to survive. So this is your first cycle. This is your first coin that you've ever bought into. Be prepared. Things go up and they go down. They're going up right now, but they're not going to go up forever. Okay. They're not going to go up forever. So don't just think you're in this coin that just only goes up. Right. And I mean, you guys want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, so I kind of brought this up in the green room. Like, we do have more and more new people coming in due to the PulseChain hype, due to Hex's price chart. People are finally giving the credit. All the people that yelled scam, Hex is trash, all this nonsense, even they are starting to give credence because they're wrong. Very few have admitted they're wrong, but they're, they think we forgot, but a lot of us have just tons of pictures and old screenshots. But as time goes on, we've gotten more and more new people. So it's kind of back to the basics. Like you said, when you come into Hex, you should have a long-term time frame. So if you don't know, and let's just say you aped in, you just bought maybe back when we were at that 2 cent or that 1.3 cent mark or wherever, and maybe you don't even know that Hex has a staking feature. Hex, you can actually lock up your coins and earn insane yield. You can stake it for a day, but
you get 40%
why would you do
APY.
that? Because longer pays better. Yeah, if you stake out past the average, you could get over 40% APY. There's nothing on this planet that pays 40% APY. Not only is it 40% APY, but it's trustless interest. You don't have to give your keys over to the middleman. You don't have to give over all your tokens. You don't have to give up your security. It prints you that interest when you're awake, when you're asleep, when you're eating, whatever you're doing, you're getting that interest. So if you just aped into the coin and you don't even realize
Eating.
you need,
I'm eating right now.
You need to start. Yeah, he's got what was it? Crab Ragoon and spring rolls.
I got crab rangoons and these little baby egg rolls.
Solid. But yeah, so it's about setting yourself up. We have something new coming up, which is PulseChain, which is going to be a fork of Ethereum. So now is the time to get your Hex because it's going to be copied over on the PulseChain. So you're going to get a PulseChain version of Hex, an Ethereum version of Hex, and we're about to enter what's called the sacrifice phase, where you can essentially sacrifice any coin. There'll be a list of coins, but you can sacrifice these coins, and based off the USD value, you'll get a certain amount of Pulse eventually in return.
But
so
can I say one thing though? Whose channel are we on right now?
We're on Wasabi's.
Okay, so Wasabi's probably got a lot of new people. I saw a hilarious video this morning. It was about some troll in Richard Hart's chat on stream, and this is the first 2 months of Hex, right? And this troll types, fuck you, Richard Hart. I thought you were smart. I just dumped my 500 million Hex because you're actually not as smart as I thought. And Richard's just like, oh no, poor you, little paper hands pleb. Oh, my bags, He's like,
bye.
LOL, you're a noob. Shut up. And then he just ignored it. And it was like the most hilarious thing ever. And that was when Hex just went up 8x, right? In the first 2 months. And 8x was a great thing. Who wouldn't want 8x on their money? But when you look back at that, 500 million today, that guy that sold his 500 million Hex today, if you would have waited instead of 2 months, if you would have waited a year and a half,
over $36 million.
Yeah. And imagine what if he waits 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. You need to think on things in terms of months and years. All you paper hand soy boys looking for an overnight flip, you're doing crypto wrong and you're going to get wrecked. All right.
Well, not to mention the people that EES, emergency end stake, they're pretty much paying a penalty. And, some of that goes to the longer term stakers that don't have those weak paper hands like Coffee mentions. They got the graphene hands, and so not only are you being paid by the 3.69, annual inflation that Hex has, but also the penalties. And also, if not 100% of people are staking, then you're going to get a better APY as well.
And that's why we're bringing it back to the basics, because we do have new people. You do see emergency end stakes. Brand is talking about, if you're following Whalebot on Twitter, someone just emergency end stake 2 million Hex and just nuked their account. So 2 million Hex just gone because they didn't know what they were doing. They aped into something. They saw this staking feature like, oh, I'll stake out. They probably saw that the longer they staked out, the more returns they got. And then they decided emergency end stake and they nuked their account. So you got to be smart with what you're doing. Hex gives you the mechanisms to have strong hands, but there's also a price to pay if you decide to go against what you said you were going to do. So if you say you're going to stake out for 5 years, stake out for 5 years. If you're going to stake out to 10 years, stake out to 10 years. Don't lock up.
Rule number one in Hex: there are consequences for your actions. There are consequences. Staking in crypto, what people think staking is you get to unstake whenever you want. If you lock up it's not really staking, and that it is staking technically, but it's not really the time value of money. The time value of money comes from consequences, and it comes from putting your money where your mouth is and actually sacrificing your time, right? So staking in the past has been designed for people with the crypto mindset. And the crypto mindset is, again, short-term, get rich quick, scarcity thinking, not abundance thinking, wealth mindset, long-term, diamond hands, which is the only people that get rich. Okay. So if you stake your hex and you don't commit to the full number of days, you're going to get heavily penalized and you could lose all your stack. So any new people here, just want to let you guys know. But I see a lot of old people. And hey there, Walter. Don't worry. I wasn't talking about you, Walter. But you better believe there's a lot of paper hands soy boys out there.
We'll be watching.
Not you.
But no, and it's the thing too, right? Because even if you think you have diamond hands and you see a 100x, you see a 200x, if you're not staked, it becomes very tempting to go ahead and sell that stuff. And maybe it goes up another 100,000 freaking X from there, right? Bitcoin's what? 6 million, did like a 6 million X. That's probably a lot less now since Bitcoin is down like 40%. But you just it's long-term holders that profit. As Wasabi showed you on the chart, if you were able to hold yourself all the way through, and then we had FUD in here, we had people fudding the price, yelling scam, all that stuff. There was stuff that maybe could have gotten you out of hex, but if you use the mechanisms that it gives you as far as the staking goes, not only would you be earning insane yield, but you would have been protected against the FUD essentially.
Yeah, and if you look at price discovery, price appreciation, all that on the macro scale, the short mentality with really any kind of investment, just in general for stuff that does really well, the traders basically don't matter. They're basically just chop on like the 4-hour time frame. So a lot of the volatility you see on very small time frames, they don't actually really contribute to future price growth in the market, because they're always out of position for the moves that actually matter. And it takes a while to have, let's say, these really big moves where you just enter price discovery, but it does happen on over and over again on the best crypto, the best assets on the planet. So it kind of goes back, and the awesome part, it goes if we even bring up that emergency end stake that Aquila mentioned. So someone got nuked today, EES the 555 stake, 2 million hex. So that's part of the mechanism with the staking on hex, is if you think you're going to get a higher payout and then FUD out because you want to sell, that all comes with consequences. And unfortunately, whoever did that basically ended up nuking their entire stack. So whatever you commit to on the staking, just be aware that this is very much a long-term hold. I know there's plenty of Hexicans that already minted coins even up until this date, and then each person just has a varying time frame as to how long they plan on actually holding holding their stakes, things like that. All of that goes into like planning over long periods of time. So and just be aware that the whole paper hands mentality is not going to get you far at all. Period. You're going to be constantly chasing and caught. You're going to be the hamster that's in the wheel going at it over and over again, not really ascending, let's say, the financial ladder. It takes years. It can take years to really ascend to like another level, but if you actually plan and stick to it, anything is possible in the crypto market. It's still, in my opinion, very early in the overall life cycle for, even if you look at Hex. Check out Gerardo's channel if you want good data analytics as to where this can be going over the macro scale, because Gerardo does compare Hex to things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and does overlays as to the relative performance. Even back when Bitcoin and Ethereum first started trading on exchanges. So it's really interesting to compare, where Hex is today versus these other two coins in the market that have ascended that ladder and are blue chips in the market. And there's some interesting takeaways that can help kind of shape out your perspective. You can also check that out on lookintohex.com. I believe he has the data, or at least pieces of it, shown on his website. So and then that kind of goes into like the whole long-term mindset. So I think it's pretty excellent that there's these mechanisms in place that actually help price appreciation, price growth, because that's ultimately the only thing that truly matters when people are buying cryptocurrency. People can spin up whatever memes and narratives, but the reality is everybody's in this market for the financial opportunity that comes with it. So
that was the ironic part too. In the beginning, everyone thought Hex was a get rich quick scheme, and then that just showed them how little they actually knew about what Hex was. Like,
yeah,
to get that insane yield, you're sacrificing your time. So like if you want that insane APY and that price appreciation, you have to give up your time. That's your most valuable asset. So it doesn't come freely. And that's why it's so ironic, because Hex is probably one of the most long-term cryptos that exists right now, just by this mechanism that exists with the staking and then the repercussions for not living up to what you say you're going to do if you decide to emergency in stake, as we saw today. Founders and holders. That's right, Russ.
Yep.
Well, like Wasabi said, there's like different mechanisms, right? And so with Hex being a proof of stake, it is like a hard lock. So yeah, you better kind of do what you said you were going to do. And if you're going to stake, just honor that term. But also, to his point, you can go to Hex.Vision at the very bottom and also see where the future inflation, the future supply is going to be, right? Where people are ending their stake. So the beautiful thing about Hex too is it's not like everyone is ending their stake at the same time and selling at the same time per se that are staked.
Yeah, that's a good point, Brent. We could actually pull up. I think it's been a little while since we looked at Hex.Vision, and there was actually a good suggestion from one of the community members in the community, Axis Alive, that kind of mentioned like it'd be cool if you can overlay the expiry of the stakes like over things like the price chart, which actually would be really cool to do.
While you pull up Hex.Vision, I'll pull up his chart from Twitter.
Okay.
Can you throw up Sig's question or statement real quick?
Yeah, let me go find it in the chat.
Sig Hex.
Oh, is it the sacrifice phase?
Yeah.
Right one? Yeah, that.
Very upset is the answer. Very upset.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm going to put contingency plans in place. Do not bring your crypto to Vegas. That's incredibly dumb. But I will put contingency plans in place where I will still be able to enter, but it's going to be extremely inconvenient for sure.
You guys are actually going to that thing?
Yeah, man. Don't try to fly under the radar. We know you're going.
No comment. It's like he's like basically like fuck you, Motley.
I know he's going.
Yeah,
I know he's going.
It's just weird. Didn't think that was actually happening.
Dude, I was talking to one of the guys, not Luis, but his brother. Anyways, over like 220 people are going, and that's just confirmed. It's like, holy shit, dude! They're having to like change venues because the just different, size capacities and whatnot. So pretty interesting.
Wow. Yeah, thank God for Maddie on that one.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to them. They're kicking ass. They're doing a lot of work, and the people, some of them are native to Vegas, so it makes it nice and easy.
Right.
So I got the chart pulled up.
Let me just pull that. There's I'm just reading through some of the questions in the chat.
Yeah, we can do that.
But Michael mentions what do you guys think will be the second best ERC-20 to buy before the fork? So just to clarify, when you look at the ERC-20s, the vast majority of those are coupled to whatever Bitcoin. Very speculative. It's all coupled to what Bitcoin and Ethereum do over the next couple of weeks. So that's if you look at, let's say, the Hex market cycle, it has a staggered market cycle relative to the rest of the market. It tends not really to be coupled to something like Bitcoin and Ethereum. It kind of follows its own trajectory. So when we're talking about other ERC-20s, pretty much everything else in this market is going to be coupled to whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum do. I think the only other exception I've seen was there's very few really coins in the market that have kind of that decoupled market structure to it. So if you're buying any other ERC-20, it's a total. You're basically making a total guess on it. It's a total wash, total gamble, really. So that's kind of the trade-off with most of the ERC-20s, because If you look at a lot of DeFi coins, they do trade on exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, things like that. So they tend to follow the same. They have overlapping cycles basically on top of each other.
I mean, honestly, if you're gonna play that strategy, I would do it with a very small percentage, because the two clear winners are going to be Hex and Pulse. It's almost a guarantee, just with the community and with what the price is doing and what's been established already. So I would, if you're going to speculate on other ERC-20s, I would do it with a bag you already have, or just a very small percentage if you plan on buying the coin before the snapshots. So just be careful with that that play if that's what you're trying to do. Oh, you don't have a Bandhammer coffee? Can you hear us? Can you want to hear me? What's going on?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound
okay. I can't hear Wasabi, so we lost Wasabi. Wasabi, we can't hear
you.
Oh,
there we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. So crypto coffee, you are modded in the chat, and then let me put the chart Motley has here on screen share so you guys can see that. All right, Motley, I'll let you take it away here.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
I just tried to switch my headphones again. Having battery issues with both.
I don't know if you can hear us. Can you hear us? Guess not. Hello? All right. So if you guys didn't know, Coffee has really expensive the new AirPod headset or whatever the heck it is, Apple headset, and the battery life sucks. So if you're thinking about getting those, maybe not. So this chart right here is done by Axis Live. I'll put his Twitter handle is Axis Live, and he's essentially just put the Hex chart with the T-shares that are expiring. So this is the T-shares that are actually coming out of the system. So you can follow it right down here in relation to the chart. So from the beginning, the original expansion phase, right here is where we had our big payday, where we had that drop, and then we're a little bit further along now, but we're essentially right here getting ready. And so what he's done is he's overlaid the T-share, the expiring T-shares in the system. So we're going to have a decent supply shock around this time. But ironically enough, I almost wonder if Richard is stalling. He can almost be stalling, and I brought this up on Twitter before. One, stalling the sacrifice phase because we could just continue to pump even without the announcement of the sacrifice phase. And then two, you can see down here, come July, we have some of the largest liquidity that's ever going to come out of the system on that date. So it would probably make sense that Richard is waiting for that time, so this can actually all be thrown into the sacrifice phase and just reduce supply that much more. So it's kind of interesting to watch the juxtaposition between the T-shares expiring and what potentially the future of the Hex price chart might look like. And he's got it going up here pretty much to 54 cents, right at that like 10,000x that Hex was designed to do. We lose Coffee?
Yeah, I think he's just getting his audio set up. There he is. All right, so we got Coffee back in the stream.
Nice.
Can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Oh man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I feel like that headset's just gonna die on you again.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So much for, thanks, Steve Jobs.
Yeah, you look good.
Great
for the
job
next
you've
5
done.
minutes. For the next 5 minutes that they work, they look great.
I'm charging my other one so I can switch back again.
Just keep switching back and forth
Yeah.
between the stream.
Yeah, and I guess one thing on the one chart from Axis Alive, if you're interested in it, definitely check his Twitter handle out, because it gives you an idea as to what's actually possible in terms of how Hex can grow versus the overall crypto market cap as like a percentage. So for example, for Ethereum's first market cycle, it basically went from 0 up to almost nearly hitting parity with Bitcoin during its first market cycle. So it kind of takes, let's say, that kind of idea and then analyzes it for the Hex market cap. So definitely check that out. And then let's see what other comments there are in the chat. Yeah, so Brand just mentioned on stream as well. Gotta love Hex slipping XRP. Yep, that is And I Joker was streaming earlier too on Discourse Syndicate. I think at the time it was just $1 billion shy in market cap of flipping Dogecoin.
And that was
that's a big deal.
I had a Hexican hit me up today where he was trying to get one of his friends into. He's been trying to get one of his friends into Hex forever, and he's got a large bag of XRP, and he just wasn't understanding the staking and inflation. So I wrote out something to send to him. But I mean, at the end of the day, proof is in the pudding. When Hex actually surpasses XRP, it's just like, I tried to tell you. Like, he's been trying to tell him forever now. And if he loved XRP so much, he could have bought more Hex and traded it to XRP if he wanted to. But people just don't really make that mental connection.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I think some of the smartest people in the world are still closed-minded. You know, you could have very intelligent people that also don't have a high degree of openness. So some of the smartest people I've met were smart because they kept learning to a certain point, and then they stopped learning. So they think that their level of knowledge is the end-all be-all for knowledge, right? So I think with a lot of these people coming in, they have the ability to understand, but they simply don't want to. Yeah. And if you're trying to convince a person that never really wanted to understand in the first place, you're going to waste your time on him. He's always going to be a hater, and you really can't help those people. You know, maybe they'll FOMO in and realize the error of their ways when they're, you know, when Hex is 1,000x from here. But that's what I've learned a long time ago in the very early days too, is some people just didn't want to hear the other side, right? So don't feel bad if, you know, you can't get those guys in. Maybe the price chart will change their mind, but you know, those kind of people will always miss opportunities because they won't be open-minded enough to agree or to even consider some other. Yeah.
Don't become complacent on your outlook in the world. Always be willing to learn new things and be open-minded.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brandon. I think Brandon's about to.
Well, yeah. I don't want to interrupt. I mean, you kind of have something.
It's all good.
It's your channel.
It's all good. I was just going to mention when it comes to open-mindedness, because there's so even outside of cryptocurrency, you have different groups basically forming communities on the internet. So I really like the term like internet democracy. These exist all over the internet through basically different tribes, different factions in some way. And it kind of relates to like everybody is finding some sort of commonality that exists on the internet with people that share at least similar views. So that also exists obviously in cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin was obviously the first democracy in terms of like, let's say a store of value. It became a really big democracy on the internet. So did Ethereum. Hex obviously has a very active community through Twitter, and as well as the internet in general with all the streams. That also represents like internet democracy. So when a lot of people are, let's say, picking like their tribe, so to say, on the internet, there's a lot of things people don't necessarily understand. So. And this was something I read on Twitter today, because it went back to the whole, there was like a Bitcoiner. I mean, I'm not even saying this to like, flame the person or whatever, but basically there's a misunderstanding a lot of people have in general. And the misunderstanding as to how things work in practice, it's the red pill versus the blue pill. So the blue pill, you kind of live your life in this, in either a state where you're not aware of how things work, or you don't like to accept new ideas that challenge what you thought was kind of the reality previously. So the biggest thing even a lot of people in these cryptocurrencies communities don't understand is even the economic mass across all the coins in the market is extremely heavily concentrated. So for Bitcoin, the top wallets control the vast majority of the supply. Same thing for Ethereum. All the top coins that really ascend up the ladder all follow a very similar. It's all very similar there, and that causes like oftentimes like a lot of misconceptions as to how things over time generate value or increase in value. So it goes back to the whole thing where you have to challenge how you perceive things. And it goes to the whole, it really is a red versus blue pill. The red pill basically, because it can, let's say, change like how you perceive things.
Let me elaborate on that too, because from the new person coming in, right, there might be a couple new people in chat, and that's fine. And you might hear, oh, well, in Hex, one entity, the origin address, most likely Richard Hart, and possibly a small team behind him. owns 80% of the coins. And you might project your values onto that saying, oh, that's bad because they can just dump at any time. But that's you projecting your values, right? So if you understand how incentives are aligned, basically, the easy way to say it is, why would anybody want to nuke and destroy their own project? Nevertheless, a rich person who's already wealthy and not doing anything for the money. But you have to realize that there's a degree of centralized ownership in every single asset. It's nothing new. You ever bought Tesla stock before? Is Tesla a scam? Is Amazon a scam? Because I hate to break it to you, the CEOs of those companies own enough money to dump the price very, very close to zero. They don't even have to have half the stack. They can have 10% of it, because I'm going to say this very slowly. There's always less liquidity on the market than there are available coins or shares to dump. There are always more available coins or shares to dump on the open market than there is liquidity in the entire market, by hundreds of fold, right? That's why not all the houses in the real estate market are for sale at the same time. That's why not all the shares of Tesla are for sale at the same time. Only a very small fraction of Tesla shares are liquid, maybe 5%, right? And let's say Elon Musk owns 30%. Well, technically he could sell down all the liquidity on Tesla, right? Why doesn't he? Because the world just kind of agrees, and he's not a psychopath. He's not an insane lunatic. And the world is built from, having a mutual idea and mutual trust in some people, right? So you can never take trust fully out of the system. It's not this perfect world, right? Where it's not this utopian dream of everybody gets a little bit. If you were to have a system where everybody got a little bit of the coin, right? We've had systems like that. We had Byteball in 2015, 2017, didn't work out. They die because when you're given something for free, when everyone's given a little bit of something for free, nobody's incentivized to keep the project or the product going. So the first thing they ask themselves is, where can I dump this crap, right? Because they didn't work for it. They have no incentive, right? So you need to understand that people having more money than you does not mean that their intentions are bad, right? So don't be a jelly little hater boy, and just try to understand that the origin address is actually a feature, not a bug.
Yeah,
I should probably say that more eloquently in like a YouTube video. But
that's very good.
That was a very good breakdown.
Someone clip that up.
Even what Coffee mentioned previously on the stream, where even there's billionaires that come into the space that don't necessarily have an open mind. I mean, we even saw that with I think it was even Elon Musk that may have tweeted it, where he was concerned about Bitcoin having the centralization of like Doge or something like that in the wallet. So it even kind of shows that there's billionaires. Literally, Elon
there's a disconnect.
Does not. There's a disconnect. He actually doesn't understand how value is generated over time due to, let's say, concentration of economic mass. And it goes full circle back to the whole incentive model that Coffee mentioned, that it takes some time for people to kind of wrap their head around it, and then just kind of come to terms that that's kind of the constraints of the physical reality that we all live in. So I think it's a good thing if you understand it, you can embrace it, and just use that to your advantage as you proceed with even future investment opportunities. So
it's crazy that Elon Musk or questioned the same thing on Doge, while he meanwhile holds enough Tesla shares. And no one's out here saying, well, what if Tesla dumps all his stock tomorrow? It's like, because he's not a maniac. 99.9% of the world is not psychopaths. And we're all kind of taking that leap of faith that Richard Hart's also not a psychopath. And I think if you've all, listened to even half an hour of him talk, yeah, he might be crude and crass and whatever, but he's very honest and to the point. And when, behind some of the harsh language, again, if you're not a, jolly little hater boy, you might be able to actually uncover the fact that Richard does care about people, and he's really in this for legacy and glory, and not really making Hex personally for the money. He's doing it to make new whales, right? A long time ago, he used to say, no, in Hex, we're making new whales. You get to be the whale depending on how early you got in. So this is a new opportunity. Go ahead, Brian.
The same argument can be used for anything. Like you said, oh, what if Bezos sells all of his stock at once, or even Satoshi, right? People like to harp on, theoretically, the OA, when in reality, Satoshi is like very comparable to the OA, and like also similar to what Satoshi did. The OA is almost like diluting itself. And so the last thing I wanted to say real quick is similar to Motley's point, like, oh, if you loved your Bitcoin so much, why not, give it up for a little bit and earn an interest. Yeah, set it free in a different crypto like Hex. yeah, exactly. So
yeah, you're basically just getting a hotter girl. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the whole concept, even around like this is actually this had me actually thinking recently about like you look at, let's say, the legacy, finance system, and you look at things like the Federal Reserve. Ultimately, you have, let's say, very few people on this planet. Probably, maybe it's only 5 people that ultimately control even, let's say, the global economy in terms of like the U.S. dollar, things like that. And a lot of that, like if you look at the incentive model in legacy finance, the incentives are aligned to only ultimately enrich, let's say, like a very few people, and then that's where you get this whole because cryptocurrency in general, like at least the top ones that end up really ascending the ranks, it really is like a financial revolution. Like I don't think that many people really understand that, and we're gonna see some crazy stuff play out over the next decade, because really you have to think like you have this centralization of like rules, so to say, in legacy finance that says, oh, we make all the rules, nobody else has a say. Whereas now you have the internet challenging that, and you have these different, literally, democracies being forming their own social consensus as to what they consider acceptable, and because of that, it's gained so much traction, because it's basically a birth of a lot of different ideas.
Yeah, you now have this world where ideas are competing, and memes are competing for the driving dominant narrative. So it's no longer we have to abide by the government or the state or the Fed, who, like Wasabi was saying, get to make their own rules, right? But with Hex, you don't have any admin keys, right? The rules are set in stone. So yeah, people have more coins than you or less coins than you, but nobody can change the inflation rate. The Fed can change the inflation rate all day long, right? Even in Bitcoin, if all the developers got together, technically they could. It's very, very unlikely that they would. But a lot of these projects, and you do need some kind of upgradable base layer protocols like Ethereum and Bitcoin. But if you're given programmable money, right? Richard Hart says, if you're given programmable money, the first thing you should program is interest. And that interest program is called Hex. And that's a program that is immutable, like the way smart contracts were intended to be. It actually has no admin keys. A lot of people say, well, there's not going to be any improvements? No, not to Hex itself, right? There doesn't need to be. The Hex code itself is designed immutably, right? Now, the layer 1 that it runs on, or the apps that are front ends for it, we can build around it, on top of it, below it, whatever. But you can't change Hex, and that means you can't change the rule set. So it is just a weird, realm that we've gone into, where now it's a fight for narratives. It's a fight for which ideas are going to compete and win. And I want to be a part of the, Team Hex, the Hex narrative. I want to craft the narrative with what we talk about and what we say. And I'm glad we're all a part of this together, because it's a lot easier when you have hundreds and thousands of people believing in the same thing. I mean, it was pretty tough early on, right? But now, just to see how far we've come makes me that much more confident that the snowball is going to continue to roll.
And that and so Hex goes beyond just a CD, right? A certificate of deposit. Like Wasabi was saying earlier, when the Federal Reserve, you might have 5 people on the planet that actually control how much money is inflated, how much money is printed. Hex is, like, I used the analogy before, like Hex is the Federal Reserve, and it's in code. Like Coffee said, there is no admin keys. There is no one that controls it. The code controls the inflation. You have the ability to borrow that money printer from the Fed, though. The T-shares that you get when you stake your Hex, those are your money printers that you're literally borrowing from the Federal Reserve of Hex, and you're able to receive that inflation. You individually are able, you're putting yourself in the most direct contact you can with the new Federal Reserve that is Hex. They are loaning out their money printers to you today at the cheapest rate they'll ever be. And you can stake them anywhere from 1 day to 15 years. How long do you want that money printer from the Federal Reserve? I want it for as long as possible at the cheapest rate. And that's today, not tomorrow. It's replacing more than the certificate deposit. Like Coffee and Wasabi are saying, the narrative is changing. You're having the clash of traditional finance meets the internet, essentially. And the internet is going to win. Wall Street Bets is already showing that it alone, a little Reddit group, can bring the entire traditional finance market to its
How crazy
knees.
is that? That's amazing. I was talking to a friend about that earlier. It's like, Reddit is an example of the internet. You know, and as much as I hate Reddit, I also like it for things like Wall Street Bets. And Wall Street Bets has been co-opted by, you know, the hedge funds themselves now. But so there's different other alternative Reddits, subreddits. But, you know, the fact that people can front run Melvin Capital and realize, hey, there's a bunch of open shorts on this position, you know, power in numbers, let's all ape in. And yeah, it's kind of funny, right? But there's a degree of beauty in that because it means that the people get to control the narratives again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I know there's been a lot of random meme stocks showing up on Wall Street Bets, but I think the main one, that's a really interesting one, is GME, because they're because of how leveraged up like the legacy finance system. There's so many potential bombs that could literally go off, and then there's some sort of theory of how it ties back to like even something like GME stock. But a lot of that ideology, a lot of that thinking came from people like basically doing research and sharing those ideas on that. So the information sharing on the internet's going to totally level the playing field in terms of money, like what constitutes its value, what's acceptable. Because you look at it, to me, like even where we're at now, Wall Street Bets is one of the big democracies I see. Like it's a really big chess piece that exists in the game. Like you have the Federal Reserve is another chess piece, the US itself is a chess piece, and so on, like with the biggest communities. So if you actually even looked at something like cryptocurrency, because of how divided it is, like theoretically the cryptocurrency market as a whole is it is extremely powerful. But essentially it's broken up into like the best of essentially that have the most influence in the space, and you get kind of everybody kind of it's pretty awesome to see it play out. I'm not quite sure what I was going to go with that, but I guess the whole Game of Thrones Game of Coins basically is
Game
on
of Thrones.
for the next Game of Thrones over the next 10 years. We are in the roaring 20s with this kind of stuff, which is amazing.
It's fun to be a part of, you know.
Yeah, it really is.
And you got to realize like this isn't going to last forever. We're going to stabilize eventually, but when the dust settles, only a few things are going to actually survive. I don't believe in a one coin world, so by no means am I saying Hex is going to take everything and it's going to be the only coin. Like no, not at all. That's kind of ridiculous. I think we're going to live in a multi-chain world. I think the smarter chains are going to be vertically integrated, or the smarter coins, meaning like Hex is going to have its own blockchain because it's going to probably need its own blockchain for layer 1 scalability to the world, right? And maybe we'll have some interoperability layers. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's starting to shape out kind of that way, where maybe we're just bridging between blockchains and every valid app kind of has its own network, right? Like, you know, maybe there is a place in the world for synthetics, or I don't know, Celsius, or like some of these things are more or less decentralized, but you know, some other coins that aren't so bad either. I could see a world, you know, Ethereum, Bitcoin is probably going to survive for a long time. I see a need for a Monero, right? Like we need privacy coins. And I see privacy coins becoming, I see them having a hype cycle in like 3 to 4 years when central governments crack down on actual 100%. Tracking.
It's coming.
Yeah. You know, that's my crystal ball. I don't know how, you know, maybe I'll buy some Monero just to be safe, but I'm not going all in on Monero.
Another cycle or two probably, and it'll really shine through. Or maybe there'll be a new privacy coin at that point that's even better. Well, time will tell on that one.
Tornado.cash is good too. That'll be forked on PulseChain.
Yeah, Tornado.cash is pretty wonderful. I looked at it. I was just seeing how many users were actually using Tornado Cash, and it's substantial. You actually get good privacy using Tornado.cash if you follow what their recommendations are. But because the other, what we haven't seen quite play out yet is it's with the introduction of like these central bank digital currencies. Which from my standpoint, I think it's basically it's an effort to try to like control the narrative in the space and use basically something like central bank currencies to like track, like to basically put more surveillance across the entire market. So just be aware, like when you start to see these chess pieces start to enter the game, they have their own agenda, whatever that may be. And you have to like think to yourself, does that actually who's ultimately benefiting from this? What is their actual gain from this, and what is the real intent behind it? So I guess back to like the whole thing. I think privacy is definitely a very underrated. I personally, I don't hold any. I do not hold any Monero, but I can understand like the privacy hedge because it is.
Yeah.
I think it is underrated right now in general. Most people don't care until they have to.
Right. But it's good to have these things like Brand mentioned earlier. We do have Tornado Cash forked to be basically Hex NATO. So we have a working version of Tornado.cash specifically for Hex, but they only become more useful as other people are using them. Because if you're the only one in the mixer, if you're one of two people in the mixer, then it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, you mix with your best friend, and now it's
bro, I know how much you have.
Well, yeah, that'll get forked over during PulseChain.
Yeah, the anonymity sets need to be large in order for anonymity in tumblers like that to work. But I think it's good to have now because it's a tool that we're going to need when we need it.
Yeah,
we don't need it now, but we will.
It's all about innovation, right? Like Ethereum's lagged behind this market, and we've seen it. We've seen it, just like you said, we're looking at a new multi-chain ecosystem, which we didn't really have the cycle before. Ethereum was king. Everything was built on Ethereum, and times are changing now. I know Wasabi's been doing a very in-depth analysis on Kusama, and it's the testnet for Polkadot and going over the parachains. Like then you have PulseChain coming out soon.
I didn't know that Kusama was the testnet for Polkadot. What's the point of Polkadot then?
So
gets the blue chips that make it through.
Yeah, it's the blue chips that you could think of it like that. But the whole thing, I guess, since it's a totally different, it's a new code base that they're running, so that itself has inherent risk to that. So the methodology is they use Kusama to basically ensure, or try to ensure, I should say, that the network is stable for long periods of time before rolling those features onto Polkadot later. So even if you look at the parachain slots on something like Kusama, my guess is that the actual cost it will take for one of the developers to secure a slot, let's say on Polkadot, I think is going to be more expensive versus something like Kusama due to just due to the way that the features are rolled up, and then the market itself also having the perception of it being quote unquote like a more secure relative to Kusama. So like the whole disruption in the multi-chain space, I think that for me what really showed that it's possible. I personally do not think it's going to be Ethereum takes all. I threw that narrative away as soon as I saw what Binance Smart Chain did. Even though it was a copy of let's say EVM, it doesn't matter because there was a clear congestion issue that ended up causing a huge blow off onto Binance Smart Chain.
It demonstrated the need that we.
It demonstrated. Yeah, exactly. So it's like you look at Ethereum and the rate that which I guess even back to the price of Ethereum, I still think Ethereum is going to do very well for the market cycle.
Oh yeah.
But the way I see it is the amount of users that will be in some way invested or using cryptocurrency 5-10 years from now is simply going to exceed whatever capacity is even possible on Ethereum. So I think naturally from that, we are going to see almost this crowd out effect. I mean, you see it, you even see this like think in physical reality, like, you had New York City, LA, like super crowded. And then you end up getting other cities that end up booming at some point in time. So we're still in the very early stages.
It's like being a New York City maximalist. Come on, guys. There's Chicago. Chicago's not bad. But no, can we talk about... Yeah. I don't want to hear it.
Let's go warmer.
Wait, can we talk about is there OKEX news? Like, because that was really exciting when I heard maybe.
Before, I guess I'm about to add this guy onto the stream.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't see you.
I've seen this guy, the Solana guy. This is Solana guy.
He said he was.
Sorry, I had to wear the double wides right now, man, because the future looking bright right now. The Hex future looking bright.
Now they're substituted.
I thought that was to block
Hex
the
glasses.
Huh?
I thought that was to block all the haters.
I got no hate. You got no hate when you fucking shining this much, man.
I mean, that's a bonus feature.
So we also got Charlie, Crypto Mindset.
Nice.
What's up, Charlie?
Hey,
we're just now. It's been a while.
Yeah. Likewise, I like the dude, bro. I think you didn't have that one the last time we were talking, but like, yeah. Well, I'm just waking up over here, so I mean, me and Miguel were talking with some people, but yeah, we just waking up over here, so I'm just kind of starting to wake up. I don't know, I'm not making too much sense at the moment, so I might just be jabbing around. Like, we've been doing the course stuff all night. Like I think like consecutive hours of sleep. Maybe
I saw DC posting at like 4 a.m. I was like, dude, go to bed, bro.
When does y'all's course start?
We do the webinars from June 18th, but we're doing the sales from today and through the 14th at midnight Pacific Standard. So it's pretty full on when we start doing it. We dedicate everything for the rest of the month towards it. You know, all of our resources and time and energy. So definitely good times. But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, man. This panel is God damn.
Yeah, DC earlier, I tried to give him a phone call. I guess since he was tired, it was like a dragon just fucking came out, started screaming at me. I
gave Tommy like life lessons and stuff. We talked about everything, man. That was great. I started swinging this katana I have in my backyard at trees.
What? All right. You're on Miguel time now.
Yeah. we got it. Looks like we got a chart. I'm gonna pull up Coffee's share screen.
Just something to look at. Just a little eye candy for you. And the arrows at what's the arrow? 10 cents.
Just a random
arrows
arrow?
at 10 cents. That's actually when I cash out all my hacks and I just
That's
dump.
when I dump on you guys.
You never hear from me again.
Now we know why there's some red.
This is where we dump, everyone.
No, but it just goes to show you how 10 cents doesn't look like a lot, I guess. At one point, I was like, oh, 10 cents is going to be crazy, so let's just put it at 10 cents.
How far we've
And now it's like, you know, we're only 3 cents away. It's like nothing. It's like you'll probably get there in a couple of days.
We're gonna blow through 10 cents. We're gonna blow through it.
I'm a believer. I mean, dude, for any of the Hexicans that have been around for that long, like, holy crap!
Even if you've only been around since May,
payday.
If you were here on May, you're gonna have made a 5x by the time it gets to 10 cents.
Not including interest, not including the fork, not including if you sacrifice any for Pulse, like the stuff that's going in the Hex ecosystem for the next.
Sorry, I should say
month or
April.
two.
I should say April.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I think the chart, looking at it, you know, I think the next level that it wants to go to is between 9.2 and 12.5 cents, which is pretty dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
That's a good thing.
So yeah, boys, and then some of the craziest things about PulseChain too that we haven't even heard yet are things like, you know, liquidity providing rewards, you know, LP mining. So there's going to be incentives for people to maybe I don't want to promise this, like put up their, you know, start new liquidity pools, and maybe there's going to be delegated proof of stake. But yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is I think there are plans. It's probably going to take a while, but for a single asset backed stablecoin, and maybe if we don't have that right away, maybe we just use like bridged USDC for some USDC pairs.
I got some heat in the green room for that. I already got the solution. I don't know.
Just for the green room, guys. Wait, no, DC, you gotta tell them it's at the end of the stream. Come on now.
Yeah.
You gotta tease it. And then technically it is at the end of the stream. Just
it was stop. Yeah, it's like after the end.
Not technically lying. Gosh, you gotta finesse this right.
Me lie? Never.
No, it was at the end of the stream. Just the green room part. Just kidding, guys. We love you.
Yo, man, I'm going crazy right now. This stream is stacked. I'm sorry. God damn, bro. This stream is stacked. This is the all-star table right here.
Gang's all here, baby.
Oh,
Let's go.
This bitch is stacked.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a good time to be in crypto when you're in Hex. You know, I mean, we had a nice little bounce on Bitcoin. I'm still waiting to sell my bag of Bitcoin and my bag of ETH. You know, I told you guys I was going to tell you when I sold it, and I haven't yet because I'm waiting for a bounce, and the bounce just hasn't been that big. You would think with the whole entire fucking national currency or El Salvador accepting it, you'd be like, all right, they're probably going to buy some Bitcoin, right? It's like, well, maybe not. I mean, maybe Bitcoin is just kind of fucked. Maybe they already have. And that's honestly, you're right. You're right. That's probably, they're not going to announce their bags until after they've bought them. But I am kind of in favor, or not in favor, but I'm kind of buying into this either multi-month, hopefully not multi-year, but this multi-month double bubble cycle theory, right? So we taper off for a few months. Bitcoin could dip or maybe wick as low as 10K to fill the CME gap, right? Which would be outrageous, but that might just be, that might just be what everyone needs, because crypto tends to do the things that fucks up the most people psychologically. It's just like,
that's true.
It's what everyone thinks can't possibly happen. And so that's what I'm starting to think might actually happen. So I'd love to sell a little bounce here. Obviously not related to Hex at all. I'm not selling Hex unless I'm sacrificing it for Pulse, that is. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird, in the macro scale, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Wait, are you trying to pull up a Bitcoin price chart or something? I was just curious.
Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah.
Are you telling me I should?
I was about to say either Coffee should bring it down or Wasabi. One of you two.
I gotta be I like talking about the macro level, and it's like, because it affects everything. It affects everything. Hold on a second.
I would say never say it. Never. The thing is,
why would you say that, Lamar?
It's already here.
Take advantage of it. You got it.
Well, if you look at this chart, probably doesn't have that much. It may not necessarily have that much meaning right now, but let's look at, because the big thing right now, I haven't really paid attention outside of like Bitfinex, but I do like to see if there's anybody that's shorting. And so far, granted, I mean, this is Bitfinex, but this stuff is going on other exchanges too. Historically, shorts always get destroyed no matter what. Mm-hmm. So seeing this kind of spike on Bitfinex, I don't know. I think we're kind of due for a squeeze. Somebody's got to get killed one way or the other.
Somebody's got to
So, sacrifice a few people's positions there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So
I got some heat for you right now about synthetic. Jesus, the biggest stake in synthetics history got liquidated right now.
Oh, I heard. Yeah.
How big?
It went from like $11-12 to like down. It's below $10 right now. It's $9 right now. Synthetics.
Well, no, but I mean, like, how much do they stake?
Let me look. I'm still looking.
Either in synthetics or dollar terms.
Dude, it is really funny looking at the synthetics degen trading chat, bro. It's funny. Let's see. Was it 6 million? I think. Wait, let me know.
Synthetics or dollars?
Listen, I'm just trying to see how much money they actually lost. Let's see. Very large liquidation of stake deaths, bro. Let me look at this real quick. It is. I'm finding out as we speak right now. Large chain liquidation on synthetic stakers.
Breaking news. We need like a little headline down there, little ticker symbols at the bottom, just going across the screen. Make it look all official.
Actually.
I know it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it does kind of freeze the show up. Actually, if you add tickers, it like lags the stream.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks, actually.
Yeah, especially the more fancy it looks, right?
Yeah.
Well, while Dees is trying to find that, I'm going to pull up. Looks like there's another chart on the screen here.
Look at that chart.
Oof.
Whose chart is that?
Look at that.
Is that a coffee chart?
Yeah.
This is charting with coffee.
So see that star right there? You know what's crazy is that's my price prediction for the Bitcoin top that I made last year, like before the Bitcoin run up. And for a while I was like, oh, it's definitely I'm definitely wrong. We're definitely going to overshoot it. And now it's looking like I might be spot on with this prediction. And the only way that I'm
timing that as well.
Yeah, it's October 22nd, $76,000.
Nice.
And the way I calculated that was based on the rate of change of days from bottom to peak and bottom to bottom, and the rate of change of the rate of change of days, and then the regular normal rate of change of diminishing returns in amplitude. So like I noticed that every peak seems to be like 80% of the previous peak. So I just did a constant, and then there's some other derivative of like the days. that led me to 2022 end of 2022 kind of, and then at around $76,000. I might still be wrong, right? But you can go dig up that video and go through my whole logic and reasoning. It's called like Bitcoin price prediction, like Nostradamus guess or something like that. But that's
Actually,
doesn't it just kind of look?
Yeah, I would say it sounds to me that sounds very reasonable by this October. Like it's not anything that would be out of line at all.
Yeah. I mean, it just would seem to just be like a very boring cycle for Bitcoin after this intense run up, right? Like maybe we might get another run up, but I don't know if it's going to be like the 300K everyone's dying for, you know? And if not, it's Elon Musk's fault.
Yeah, right.
Scapegoat.
Yeah, I mean, usually the market, what it likes to do is have like a long goal narrative. I think, obviously the last bull market, it was like, let's just say, $30,000 per Bitcoin. Okay. And now we're getting, up to the tens of thousands. Okay. Let's change that to 500,000. It's like, what? Let's go with $1 million actually.
Exactly.
People do this all the time. And I get caught up in it too. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, let's $10,000 ETH. Yeah, let's do that. It's like, we got to get grounded in reality too, which is what we're also trying to do that for Hex too, because while we do expect Hex to pump massively, it's not going to do this forever. You know what I mean? So enjoy the pump, but realize that you're in the middle of it. Oh shit.
Hello there. Nice legs, bro. Thanks for the
nothing
crotch
left
shot
there,
for the audience.
Hey, it's for the 0.01% of the ladies.
The one female watching right now just got excited.
Yeah.
Glad to see you wearing
you're
shorts,
muted,
bro.
DCC. You know I'm wearing shorts under here.
Hey,
You guys aren't wearing pants.
sometimes it's
I hope
just
you're
a
not wearing
shirt,
pants.
maybe underwear, bro. That's it.
I'm actually you're lucky I am wearing shorts.
Yeah, it gets hot in the streaming room, all right?
Yeah, we can actually pull up. Let's actually pull up a Bitcoin.
I saw
Yeah, this is the one. All right. So, I guess my main takeaway, if you look at the Bitcoin price chart, is there is this historical trend line that actually dates to just after the first market cycle Bitcoin had, where it peaked around, I think it was around like $32. But basically, you can see even this cycle, this has held in some way basically as resistance during the impulse waves it's seen so far. So I'm kind of expecting, at least later on, is I think there is going to be another run up, but I have a hard time seeing this trend line at least strike within the next couple years, because it would imply like a 400K plus Bitcoin. So I don't quite think this is going to play out the third time, just because you get to like these levels of absurdity. But even if it, like later on, if it ends up pushing up higher, you can still get some pretty wild price targets even on Bitcoin relative to the market bottom. I mean, I guess if you look at where it's at now at 36K, that's a different frame of reference, but you kind of have to realize that there are plenty of people that bought throughout the bear market that they're sitting basically pretty comfortable. So, but I think at least those insane price targets, I personally don't think we're going to see even this cycle like a $300,000 Bitcoin. I think this run up was kind of for me at least a way to kind of ground like what kind of reality is at least somewhat more conservative, at least for the next leg up when the time finally comes. So I think even this summer this summer will paint at least a good picture as to maybe how high it's going to or at what point it will start to turn back around for the rest of the market, even aside, because I know there's plenty of people here that hold multiple coins. So this is actually a good time, even in the market, to pay attention to stuff that you do want to hold long term, or at least start to build up a position for the later stages of the bull market. So we actually could very easily, in my opinion, this bull market could even go to like 2023. So I think we have a lot of time. I think we have a lot of time this cycle. Yeah, because even this build up, like you saw, every time it's come up and hit this, even this trend line, it's taken longer each time. So this could actually, in theory, it could keep elongating and take longer and longer. So, well, that would be kind of
the line that Lord Richard.
How much more are we elongating? Sorry.
For the cycle. I just
Well,
threw,
I just
I
meant
just
like
threw
us
random.
personally.
Is that the sack you're drawing, or what is that?
Is that like the ball sack pattern?
Oh, it's a rainbow flag.
Only if you rainbow tie dyed it.
Yeah.
Nice.
anything for the viewers.
Not for me, nothing. Ain't tie dyeing that shit.
So yeah, guys.
Elongating. Getting stretched.
Elongating.
Here we go.
Children of the Grave. I think I'm gonna FOMO buy some Hex. Yeah, I mean, after the breakout, it's like a breakout, so it's a trader's wet dream right now to buy a breakout like this. Not to say anybody should be a trader.
What would you view the risk to reward be at the moment for the current price? With where are we at in terms of price specifically? We're at like 7 cents right now, 7.3. So like in terms of downside, for me, it looks like it has a floor at about like 4.2 cents, and the upside being about, like I said, 9 to 12.5 cents or so. So like the risk to reward there is kind of like you can flip it a little bit at the current price.
Well, that price floor has been moving up quickly because I mean, just a couple of days ago I was looking at how many limit orders we had at like 5.5 cents, and there was millions of dollars at 5 cents, and it's just continued to move up. And at this point, really everything's just hinging on the cusp of when Richard does release Pulse, and I think he's pretty much told us now, or not Pulse, the sacrifice phase. And Richard's told us now that essentially we won't have a warning. So it's just going to be probably him coming on stream, giving us the details of what it is, and then just like, hey, it's tomorrow, or hey, it's live now.
I think he's going to give people 1 week to get money out of exchanges.
He said on his last stream that we've had enough time at this point that he's just going to release it. So
yeah,
they're working on being able to claim it from exchanges, I believe. What was
True, I found that weird, and I don't fully understand how that's going to work, but that's cool.
I don't either.
I don't have money on exchanges, but yeah,
that could be a good stall tactic
yeah.
too.
Hey, what are you guys' thoughts about the starting price being hinted at like 8 cents?
That's not the. Oh, yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean. I thought that was kind of high, honestly.
For both.
Yeah.
I think
Richard
Brand's talking.
Oh, sorry.
He didn't really say that it was 8 cents. He was like, when modeling, I think it was the sacrifice ratio for Pulse.
He kind of corrected himself.
I thought the initial modeling was like 1.26 cents or something like that.
Because 8 cents would put it at like pretty fucking ridiculous market cap. I mean, like, well, I guess market cap doesn't matter really, but at the same time, we don't even have a percentage of like how much he's going to actually be put out for liquidity pool mining.
I think on Twitter he just said that was like a number that he used in the model and to not take it seriously. Just like he's probably just running through like. He used the average stake length of like 2 years when modeling Hex, because Richard Hart overestimated how much people would believe in the project. You know what I mean? He thought people were going to be more paper hands than they actually were, and people ended up diamond handing to an average stake length of 5.5 years. I think he was actually very surprised by that. When you ask him like what is something that surprised you about Hex, that's probably what he would say. I mean, some people have asked him that before. Yeah,
he was telling us all in the beginning and shit to like he doesn't see much of a point staking past 10 years. He's like, we put the 5.55. I remember that.
Even Richard was like, yeah, he didn't think people were gonna actually be like 15 years staking. It's like, well, shit, man, like. If we're gonna 10 year, we might as well 15 year. Might as well get like all of it and just go fucking balls to the wall on this.
I got a nice fat line on the 10-year mark because of that initially.
Yeah, I think the retail's bullishness in this market for crypto in general and the appetite for crypto has really surprised a lot of even the top players in the space. I think even Celsius has been surprised at how much people are willing to buy at the current prices. And it's one thing that I think, at least me in this market, I've been like, yeah, of course, once we get to these prices or whatever, like retail's going to want in. It's like, retail always kind of wants as much as they can get, right? They get that greed brain going real well.
Yeah,
They just don't want to hold for longer than a month.
That too. Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, like if you go on the Twitter bros, right? Like, I mean, they can't take self-responsibility for the most part because they're just copy trading a lot of people's bullshit charts, right? And then they're like, "Oh, bro, it's your fault that I lost so much money." It's like, bro, who took the advice and pressed the trigger, right? So, but no, you're 100% right. They're very short-sighted, and I can't remember even 2 weeks ago.
Right? It's kind of crazy that even Bitcoin fell to levels 4 months ago. It's like not maybe 5 months ago, but like the grand scheme of things, that's not that long. But everyone's acting like the world is falling, right? It's like just because you bought Bitcoin at 60K and now it's 35K. Well, if you bought it at 10K, you're up. You're still up. If you bought it at 10K a year ago, you're up 3x. But if you bought it at 60K a month ago, you're down 50%. It's kind of like
that's why the entry point is so important.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. Well, time preference as well, right? Like being able to hold during that time. Because I mean, a 50% drawdown versus a 200 to 300% increase in price or more, right? The odds are in your favor that you have more potential to win than to lose. So as long as you're not paper mache hands, you're good.
Yeah. Have a plan before you go into it.
Yeah,
baby, soft little lotion hands.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm still speculating. We'll see. I still think we'll get not financial advice. If you buy Bitcoin right now and get wrecked, taking no responsibility for that. But I still think we're gonna see a bounce somewhere above 30K. Because if you look at the price chart, the neckline on that's around. It's actually you could even say it wicks down to 28K. So I mean, it's kind of at a level now where I can see really any price range, realistically have like a bounce, but I don't know. Hopefully we'll see them. I do like seeing the shorts pile up because that's just gonna at least increase the chance that there's a squeeze that could bring it maybe back above 40K.
Cook spaghetti hands.
Yeah.
Just sieve hands.
Mom spaghetti hands.
No chat, chill, bros. Dude, I just repeated what fucking Richard said about 8 cents. Some people are there like losing their fucking mind. It's not gonna be 8 cents. It's not fucking possible.
I mean, the funny part is we don't know. No one knows unless you're rich.
I don't know.
You know what? You know, like just defend it, right? It could be. Watch this shit. Right. One of y'all.
8 cents was bad. Watch this shit.
Right? What if? Hey, what if only 10% of the fucking supply gets released total for that whole phase, and then the rest of it just gets dripped out, and there's developer funds, and there's all this other stuff, right?
Yeah. There could be a DAO. There's
DAOs.
Talks of a DAO.
I think so.
Like an Ethereum Foundation type of thing, but it's more of a DAO for the users. There's also talks of liquidity providing rewards. So similar to how like QuickSwap had a Quick token, you might get incentivized to earn Pulse tokens by providing liquidity to start new trading pairs. That could happen.
So I mean, those funds will go to a good use too, right? Though, like they're going to be used for mechanisms to essentially gain adoption and keep people in the ecosystem. So it'll be a net positive, but yes, it might be 30% or 40%. We don't know.
Right.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fucking tokens. 150 million times 10,000. Like I don't even know. It's like the quadrillions. Like we're gonna have to start doing e to the like 11 or 12.
It's like one. Isn't?
Wait, I thought it was 10,000 times 100.
Yeah. It's just 1.5 trillion. Or 1.1 trillion.
Yeah, I don't even look at the synthetics price, you guys. I just got it on.
That's right.
I just got it on. I don't even look anymore.
It's trillions, I think. I think it's trillions.
No. Yeah, I'm doing.
Yes, it's 1.5 trillion, right?
It's 1.5 trillion.
Yeah.
Add 4 zeros to 150 million.
Yeah.
Get on my level, Motley.
What? That's what I said.
Yo, learn some math, bro.
I feel like Coffee's just arguing with himself.
I am. That's literally what I'm doing.
It's quadrillion. What?
No, it's not. It's not.
A million, bajillion, zillions. Numbers aren't even real anymore these days with what's happening in finance. I mean, seriously.
Right.
Sorry, fam. I am in the AMTV live stream. Nice. Crypto King is out here. He's our Chillionaire over here.
Oh yeah,
he's doing the Lord's work.
I meant to post his comment or have Wasabi post his comment earlier. So for any Hexicans, especially the OGs, if you've had Hex change your life at this point, Matty Allen's been doing essentially just hashtag Hex Challenge and do like a 1 minute testimonial, put it on Twitter. Him and Markable Thoughts are compiling a video of everyone's testimonials, and then it'll probably go on the Hex website and your own individual Hex testimonial might get put on the website as well. So definitely, if Hex has impacted your life, everyone should do a testimonial video for sure.
Yeah. I've made so many videos at this point, like, I don't know. But I will make
So what you're saying
just
is you're
clip 'em.
not going to make one.
I made one. I made one already.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just go back and clip
worry.
'em.
Don't you worry.
Exactly.
Hex has ruined the concept of money for me. What do you mean? What do you
He's made
mean,
too many
Lamont?
gains.
Right, like regular money's just not going to cut it anymore. Like,
Yeah, I think crypto's done that to all of us. I mean, if we go
Yeah.
back, if crypto were just to leave here today, right,
I mean,
and
how
we had
crazy
no
is it
other
that
option.
we talk in X's. We talk in X's.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Most people would be happy to get a 40%. They'd be like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" Like, what? That's a 1.4x. That's weak. What the hell are
Yeah.
you talking about?
It's
I'm
just,
so
Yep,
happy
totally
to get
right.
rid of fiat. As soon as I get it.
just reading one of the comments. RSR lagging. The team is distracted, begging all the Venezuelans.
But just like the Decentraland team, busting nuts
Oh,
over all
yeah,
the Argentinian
I
chicks.
think that's right. I need that gave me some kind of deja vu there.
I know, dude.
That's-
Even Nexo, the head of marketing was like he posted himself like banging some chick on live on Twitter and stuff.
What?
Like last
Are you
year.
kidding me, dude?
No, that's real.
What? Man,
He's like,
I guess.
"Woo!"
He's like, let me go find that video.
Wait, so you're telling me?
Way back
I'm
time
wondering what
machine.
I can get away with.
the
I'm
head,
just
the head of
wondering, like,
Nexo, like the head of marketing for Nexo or something. Literally, I mean, it's
Jesus
legit.
Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Man, these crypto people are. I mean, I'm one of them, so I guess I'm kind of crazy too. But I don't think I would go that far.
Prove it, DC. Prove it. Show us
Should I?
proof.
Get banned off it. Get it. Look at the crypto's YouTube channel ban like immediately.
We've done it to
please.
brand, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be the first time.
Don't get my channel banned.
Wait, what is Lamont talking about? Hexo is a savage? What do you mean?
I'm talking about Nexo, not Hexo, you guys.
Oh,
What the fuck are you guys?
I'm not talking about
Definitely wasn't
hexology.
banging his wife on Twitter.
Oh, Hexo's gonna
company.
be begging some chick on Twitter Live when he's like happily married with kids.
Let's not spread that one.
Bruh.
I can see now we're all gonna get DMs from him like, "Yo, what the fuck did you guys say?"
This is what happens when you're tired.
No, you said Nexo.
No, you said
I said
it
Nexo.
right. Or take
Yeah,
it.
that was
Just
him.
yeah, just
People don't know.
Oh,
Nexo.
Somebody just wants to
Isn't
throw
it just like
a wrench in the chain of the stream. That's all. The troll's just waiting there, just like, let's see what happens here.
Yeah, they're waiting for us to fuck
Nexo,
up.
Hexo.
They're waiting for me to
we
drop
can-
my
we can
camera
work that.
again. See some of that upper thigh action going on.
Wasabi clearly just being like, I'm out of this conversation. Let you guys take this one.
Yeah, basically.
When are you gonna make those 3 shirts we're talking about?
shirts?
Yeah, so I'm waiting on the trademark.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Yeah,
That shit's it's so I filed for a trademark about I'd say probably about a month and a half. It's been at least like 90, if not more. It's been at least a month and a half now. So it's actually 45-ish days, but still. Anyway, supposedly it can take like months to hear back if you even get a trademark. The process for it's awfully slow. And I might actually run into problems with that because there's this station that's some kind of like news anchor that uses that in their title, but there's no trademark for it. So we'll just see what happens. I submitted everything that was required, and I'm waiting to hear back to see if I actually get the trademark for it. Because if I don't, I'm going to be extremely unhappy.
It's gonna be very sad.
Yeah, very sad.
Wasabi sad.
Oh,
there'd be a lot of history in the trademark too. It goes into the whole expansion phase. Let's just kind of leave it.
I've gotten a
leave it at
trademark
that.
before. It's a pain in the butt, but it's not too expensive. It just takes a long time.
No, it was like $500 to file one, and then there's some kind of key process or something. I think it hasn't been assigned to anybody yet to basically give me the green light to use the trademark or not.
You gonna trademark your golden chart?
NFT, son.
It kind of ties all of that in some way.
Actually, what? Oh,
What?
you
You guys hear me?
I think you're.
Why is everyone muffled?
I think the stream's lagging on Wasabi's end or something.
I hear Motley good. I hear Delicacy.
I hear all you guys fine.
Yeah, likewise.
Coffee and Wasabi were lagging a bit.
Anyway, I bought my
Wasabi-
first NFT
Wasabi,
ever.
when he gets like copyright or whatever or trademark, what he's got to do, he's got to send like a non-disclosure agreement. And for the clerk, before he opens the box, he's like, whatever you see in this box, you can't talk about it. Like you didn't see nothing, you just got to prove it, all right? And that's it. Before opening this box, you know. And then he opens and then you get like a pair of glasses and stuff because the man's gonna be blind from the golden chart at that point.
Oh right. It's like in Pulp Fiction at the very end. It's like how everyone's fighting for that briefcase in Pulp Fiction, and they open it. And It's like that's what's in there actually.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's the movie? Indiana Jones, when it just melts everyone's face off.
Oh,
If they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not ready for it yet, it's gonna actually melt your face off. So you really got to be careful with that golden chart. But anyway, I bought a Richard Hart NFT collectible the other day for like $100.
I won one, so I got mine for free. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it those like cards with I've seen ones where it actually I don't know if you want to show the exact collectible because then it might dox your ETH
I can
address.
tell you about it. Well, yeah, I don't care.
You could probably pull it up on Hex Toys. I think he's got. If you just go to Hex Toys or Hex
take a look.
Toys. Let's see.
I forgot what I.
Which one did you get? I ended up getting the one where he was like in the Hawaiian shirt and the captain hat.
I got that one, but I also he sent me a spaceman one, like of the Hex astronaut, and then I got a third one too.
Oh,
it's just weird. It's just weird that I have NFTs. It's like, who am I?
Yeah.
What have I become? Hold on a second. I can check out my
Here, I'll just share. I'm just gonna share my screen so people can check out. If you guys haven't been to Hex.Toys yet, you definitely should. Sai is one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest when it comes to marketing and getting Hex out there. Let's see.
I got a unicorn as well. There's like a unicorn toy.
Unicorn one, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
How did you get gifted one? Or you want to draw?
Yeah, I was gifted a unicorn, and I purchased a Richard Hart.
Nice, dude.
Only 369 made.
So this is one of the NFTs that Coffee has. Is this little Richard Hart doll with the coin, and evidently these are actually in production right now too. So with that NFT, you can actually get the tangible little Richard Hart action figure and Hex coin. So
Dude, that might be actually worth something, like a lot.
Yeah,
no,
who
knows?
That's
I was
actually
thinking the same
hilarious.
thing. Like, should I buy one because of that? Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys go to NFT collectibles over here, you can go and purchase one. So
I don't want to say I like fully support
astronaut.
NFTs, but like if they're backing something physical that you get,
Right.
I can kind of see it.
This thing has a toilet paper roll in it. How awesome is that?
I didn't see that. That's hilarious, man. Holy shit.
But still, it's like you could also just have a serial number on that, and like a company that proves authenticity. But now it's on the blockchain. Cool.
Alien Trooper. Nice.
Is it an alien? Sweet.
Yeah, and early bird membership. Okay,
What is that?
that's
For
just
what?
everything. I don't know.
Membership for what? Hex Toys? Bye.
Yeah, you can collect it though. Don't know what
Like
it is.
cookies, yum.
Bye. Tell me.
Oh man. Yeah. So
Size made a lot of products, man.
really good
Yeah.
site if you guys haven't checked it out.
done great work.
Hex.Toys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having my tangible Richard Hart action figure.
Are you gonna open it and play with it and be like,
no, bro.
Richard?
Nah, keeping it sealed.
Have like the unicorn, have like Richard riding on the unicorn.
Ryan the unicorn. Oh, you can put the toilet paper roll on the unicorn horn.
Or so, yeah, okay.
What? What was that? Is this action figure anatomically correct?
I'd be curious to see how many he's sold so far. I mean, out of 369.
I think half of
the other
them.
day.
About over
I was
100.
going to say, I looked at it.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
How long's it been out?
Maybe
2
like
weeks.
a week or so.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
good.
cool.
The guy has the #1 spot for like referrals and Hex. Like the guy is a marketing
Oh yeah,
wizard.
he's so good. He does a
Same with
weekly
Staker.app.
giveaway. Yeah, Staker.app. Yeah, he's got a shit ton. He's my #1 referrer for hexpassiveincome.com. He just,
That's
I don't know
awesome.
what he's doing, but
He's just
he's
good
a pro
he's just
at.
good.
Yeah,
Master Schiller.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a skill. It's a very good
I
skill.
mean, he got
Mhm,
3 Hex
totally.
apps ranked at the top of the App Store for the term Uniswap. Like if you search for Uniswap in the App Store, you're gonna find Uniswap. His version, it's called Uni Pro. It's the front end for Uniswap, but it's also got a bunch of like Hex stuff on other tabs. So it's like it's not like a
that's
scam
cool.
or anything. It's just like, yeah, here's Uniswap, and also here's a bunch of links to Hex stuff. So,
Try that
So-
right now, actually.
yeah,
it's
let me know.
Oh, yeah, good. I'll go for it.
Oh, definitely.
You said it's
What were
Wednesday,
you
so-
guys doing at the beginning of the stream? I'm curious now.
Bro, just watch it. Just watch
We were
it.
just talking about you mostly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were talking a lot of shit,
Yeah, figure.
like a lot, dude.
Nah.
Like a lot, like all of it. Like,
Like, dude, like-
Wasabi went on a journey.
Oh, you,
Oh,
you're gonna
dude, that
wanna
was hilarious.
watch the
See?
beginning.
See, I told you it was worth your time.
damn it! What the
Do it.
There was a
Hey,
good,
hey,
there's
chat.
very good, there's very good storytelling though from Motley Coffee on said journey. So yeah,
In the
go,
beginning, there was only darkness, and darkness and wasabi.
And then a chart appeared.
From the darkness, a chart.
And a wild wasabi.
wild
Hey,
wasabi.
does anybody in chat have questions about like crypto stuff that you guys want to ask us? Anything you want?
There was one interesting
think
question
it's
that I was going to bring up, but I was
favorite.
just kind of waiting to see what you guys were going to talk about, you know, because I was just kind of chilling with what you guys are doing here. But looks like Pascal Schmidt said, are you guys bullish on Cosmos ecosystem with Osmosis and Gravity Dex coming out? I thought that was a pretty interesting question, but not sure what your guys' thoughts on that is. I like Cosmos a lot.
for it.
Like Cosmos is a pretty good platform, but
Is that like a build your own blockchain type of thing?
yeah, it's very similar to Polkadot with interoperability. Yeah. But actually Polkadot uses it to help it make its interoperability function, which is pretty interesting. I don't know too much about Osmosis and Gravity Dex on that yet. I haven't looked into that too much, but basically I've been pretty bullish on Cosmos, not in terms of necessarily price, but in terms of infrastructure since the middle of last year, basically middle to end of last year. What do you think, Wasabi? Have you heard of these projects?
I've heard of Osmosis, Gravity Dex. I've seen that. I've seen the term on Reddit, but I don't know too much about it. That Cosmos ecosystem is one that I plan on at least looking into while we're kind of in this trough in the market. Because I mean, right now is a good time to figure out stuff that you might have some kind of weakness on. And even as Charlie mentioned, like I have a lot of interest like in the Polkadot ecosystem. So what's interesting to me is if there's a lot of similarities with the Cosmos ecosystem, that's something I'll brush up on. But I think that the main thing, at least that I read into, is there's, at least in relation to Polkadot, is it has there's of course you have to use DOT to secure a slot, whereas it seems like it's more open on Cosmos, which I guess there could be different trade-offs to that, because the parachain slots, at least in my mind, on something like Polkadot lend itself to price pumping. So that was really the main reason why I looked at. I was like, all right, I see a supply sink here, so that could be good for price pumping. But I guess in terms of the infrastructure, I still think we're very early in this space in general. So again, after seeing what Binance Smart Chain did, I no longer disregard other networks from grabbing market share. So if there's good stuff on Cosmos, it's definitely worth at least being aware of, because otherwise you get blindsided in the space if you're not paying attention. Stuff in the space it really moves like a freight train, and you will get ran the fuck over if you're not prepared for what's to come. So it's good to just not be ignorant as to what's actually going on, and be open to like other possibilities in the space. Because I know we've seen Ethereum, like, again, I think Ethereum's going to do really well, but we've seen things challenge the narrative with like a one chain rules them all, which I don't think is very, I don't think it's likely.
What do you mean, dude? It's Bitcoin only.
Yeah.
God, you guys are so stupid.
There's a really funny. It's pretty bad, honestly, with the ETH maxis. It's really Bitcoin maxis and ETH maxis. There's a really funny meme from somebody in the Hex community. It's I think it's like Yikes Hex or something like that. I think that's his.
That guy's funny. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he has some really hilarious videos, but he had one where it was basically Bitcoin maxis and ETH maxis yelling at. Let me see if I can find the video.
He's got a lot of like stuff on TikTok.
I will say, I think like ETH, there's not as many ETH maxis, or if there are, they're not as bad as the Bitcoin ones.
Depends how deep you get into their streams.
I haven't came across a lot of them yet, I guess. But I mean, we probably seem like hex maxis, you know. So
well, I mean, I think it's just natural in crypto, to be honest. Like every community is basically the same, and it's just like a microcosm of what's happened with Bitcoin. So that's why I think what Polkadot's doing is kind of interesting in terms of their marketing, because they're trying to market towards, what do you call it? Marketing against tribalism or against maximalism, which I think is against human nature in general. So I don't
exactly,
you know, I think,
but it's also what PulseChain is going for too. PulseChain is going to unlock a new narrative to basically funnel more people into Hex, in my opinion. By playing the game of like, oh, you can build whatever you want on PulseChain, but by the way, here's this really awesome product that you know it's been running for a year and a half, and it's already done a shit ton of gains, and you can get involved early, and it's on Pulse, and it's free and instantaneous. But you know, you can also buy some dog shit, you know, Shiba knockoff on Pulse, whatever.
I'm really excited about the honey versus vinegar, right? Like you do attract more people when you can kind of, you know, play that other side. Like,
how dare you guys?
Charlie's mentioning.
If you're against freedom, you're against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yo,
Sabi,
Jared's got a question for you. Need to look at Jared's question.
I'm very far behind the chat right now, so let me
scroll.
Oh, Jared, what have you? Sabi, have you ever done a chart for party hats? I have done a chart for party hats. Let me see if I can find it on my Twitter.
Now Richie T underneath that asked, like, can we chart party hats versus t-shirts?
There's it's let me see if I can find up. There's a really cool.
Did you actually chart that? Did you actually chart party hats?
Yeah, because like to me, yeah,
of course.
Hey man, he's dedicated. He's sunk cost in there.
Party hats were the first. It was the first form of like digital scarcity that stuck. Like that was actually what led into Bitcoin later.
Fucking nerd.
Hold on.
Yeah, party hats were sold on a black market for thousands. I mean, they still are today. I think a police
sold on Silk Road.
What was the highest? What was the highest price? What was the highest price ever recorded on?
Probably like $8,000 for a blue party hat. Yeah,
damn, dude.
They hit the end of their adoption curve on the USD chart, but and for the in-game currency, they just pump forever. Which goes back to the whole thing with cryptocurrency. Like the best cryptocurrencies are going to pump forever.
Honestly, the best crypto is Runescape Gold. And if you don't believe that, then you're against freedom. Or actually, mate, the best thing was Club Penguin. What was the money in Club Penguin?
Club Penguin?
No idea.
You guys remember
No idea.
Never mind.
He is right though. That kind of.
You guys didn't play.
Yeah, unfortunately, Daniel, you cannot leverage party hats, so you can't get the extra price pumping. It's just the whatever in-game currency exists. I found the
online
the meme though. Let me.
You guys ever play 12 Sky? There's a game called 12 Sky.
No, I never did.
Oh man, that was a cool game.
It's another cool game. I always try to get into Asian Empires, but I never could do it.
Oh, I love that one. That was my first computer game.
I played that. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Jared said we used to scam kids for fats back in the day. Dude, I remember that. Like, I didn't used to do this, but I had a friend that would like literally, it would be like, okay, drop all your items at the same time. And like,
What'd you think of?
yeah, no, that would be it. It'd be like, I'll drop the item, you drop the gold at the exact same time. And you would like trick these poor kids into like dropping all their gold and you would just take it and run.
Look at Wasabi, that dirty motherfucker.
It was Wasabi. Jared, it was Wasabi that fucking rug pulled you.
Dude,
on,
No, he would lead people into the wilderness. That's what he would do.
You guys want to
murder them.
You guys want to see a video of what rug pulls look like in RuneScape?
Yeah.
Do it, man.
All right, let me see if
I saw one video where this guy like killed another guy and he had a blue party hat, and he was going through his stuff and he didn't notice it. And then the chat started going crazy. It's like, bro, you missed the blue party hat. And he went back and it was gone.
Oh man.
All right, let's see. Biggest RuneScape luring video at 128 billion plus. Yep, this is
Can we
it.
please watch it?
Yes.
Are we gonna get pulled down?
No, who cares?
Yeah, it's
You don't get-
Wasabi's
yeah.
channel. Who gives a fuck?
I'm just setting up the share screen right now.
It's RuneScape. It's worth it.
Share audio.
We're actually lure me, Daddy.
If they're playing,
Yeah, we just have to talk over it. That's all.
Can't hear anything, I don't think.
So what's happening?
just a sec. Can you guys hear it now?
A little bit,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Turn your computer volume.
Full screen.
Oh yeah, it's very quiet. Yeah, there we go.
But at what price?
How long is this video? Is this what we're doing for the next 15 minutes? Can we just watch this?
Well, hold on.
Oh my
Let me pause it. So this is the blue party hat. These are some guys
Let me
in
give you the
background.
tutorial real
Fucking
quick.
real life.
So in the background on this castle ledge over here, that's a red party hat and yellow party. So these guys are safe over here. The blue party hat
Holy
guys are not
shit.
safe. These red claws, these are dragon claws. He's getting
They
killed
do
by
a shit
dragon
ton of
claws.
damage, right?
Yeah,
Jeez.
and that's this green portal. This green circle in the background. That's it's the lure that would basically people would step into the wilderness with their most expensive shit.
Mistakes were made.
I'm gonna fast forward it.
Good idea.
Bad bitch, Spanish friends. Could have been friends again.
All right, everyone talk over the music.
You won't get hit with a copyright strike
Yeah.
if you keep every once in a while. You just turn that mute button on, turn it back on.
Good point.
See if there's a good one with
The only reason I know anything about this is because my roommate playing this all the time.
Sure.
No, dead serious. No, but I would watch his videos because they're hilarious.
Whoa. This guy actually here, he has a purple party hat on.
Oh my
what-
God.
Whoa.
let's
Oh
see
my
what
God.
happens.
Is that better than a blue
What
party hat? I thought blue was the best.
Purple's the lowest on the list, but
Oh, we.
gone. Yep, there it is in the. This was actually past my I'm just familiar with the lures because that was like the first really big. That was a really big scam back when I played before like 06. It was mostly just like 12-year-old kids getting like scammed to walk into the wilderness and get all their shit stolen.
Wasn't weren't Santa hats rare too?
They were. So Santa hats were kind of like the analogy I like to make with the rares is something like a Santa hat is kind of like Litecoin in the crypto form where it's the shit. It's like kind of
Ooh, drive that dagger in deeper, Wasabi.
it's the garbage rare that gets traded for the better rare. So over time, the ratio, like for Santa hats to party hats, like would end up going up and up and up and up, just because it would end up becoming a crowded. Yep, this is the historical list. Actually, this is blue. Slight correction here. It was blue.
You guys learning a lot. Everybody, write this down.
This is what you guys came here for, right?
red, green.
Are you not entertained? Wait, what was the correction? I missed it.
I gotta wake
sorry.
up early tomorrow. I'm gonna head out.
What,
Last thing
We
I
got
know.
4 minutes. You bastard.
Rugged.
Rugged.
Yeah, but yep, those were the that was pretty crazy to think that was 16 years ago. So those videos are
Yeah, we're old as
like
fuck.
16 years old, if not more. So just remember, if
Time
you're
well
in a
spent.
if you're in a country somewhere and somebody is asking you to walk over somewhere with your ledger or your Trezor or your private keys, you're probably getting lured.
Not
Don't
a
do
good
that.
idea.
Don't do that.
Going to Vegas, don't bring your crypto with you.
Yeah, don't bring.
Yeah,
don't,
that's just
don't do
stupid.
that.
Fucking stupid. Wasabi
have
will
a-
jack you.
Have a
He'll
way
have
of,
his claws ready.
have a way of actually really seriously safeguarding your crypto. Like,
Yep.
I'm sure there's still plenty of people that have a piece of paper with their seed phrase written right next to their computer that connects to their MetaMask or whatever wallet. So yeah, take
Let me
that.
just
Take
move
that
this
very
over
serious.
real quick. All right.
Just tell the
It's
IRS
now
your
10
dog
feet
ate it.
away from the computer.
Sorry, IRS, my dog ate it. For being accident. All these
Where's
things
my
combined,
dog?
all at the same time. We hit it.
That count seems very active still. It's like, yeah, scammers. What
are you gonna do about them?
I got. It's going through Tornado
Yeah.
Cash a lot and getting cycled through all these exchanges. I don't know anything about that.
Never even
Lost
heard
those
of
a
those
long time
things.
ago.
Yeah, what are those?
Yeah, what are you talking about? It's all party hats to me. I don't know.
All right, looks like Henry's about to bounce.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good time to end it. We're coming close, and we started
Uh,
talking about party.
So all the
hats.
stuff that you're alluding to, just let's talk about it in the green room and just rug all these guys at the same time. Though.
Yeah, keep everyone wanting more. We'll
That's
start.
good.
We've talked about like starting to just like doing random raffles to just have people come back in the green room.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
At the beginning of Moon Gang, what we used to do is we just like allow anybody to come on or whatever, and like
I
if
remember
they ended
that.
up coming on, then they ended up in the green room as well. It's like, and this funny thing is when you do that, most people don't jump on, right? Most
Yeah.
people are like don't want to jump on stream or
Yeah,
whatever.
you let this dirty
Good point.
Hexican on many moons ago.
Yeah, I mean, and the dirty Wasabi and the dirty, me as well. So we're all good. We all come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll start. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
You know what makes me sad, man? There's a lot of
What's that?
Hexicans drinking a lot of haterade, bro. There's so many Hexicans in chat sometimes. I just watch them get pissed off at shit. Like, it's like you guys are winning so fucking bad, and yet you drinking haterade. You're drinking haterade from a golden chalice, but still drinking haterade. Like,
It's some people's mode of operation. It's just what they do. So let them be whatever.
Don't worry about it, bud. Don't read the comments like they say. You're
I'm
you're
just
too
saying,
famous
like-
now.
Yeah. I could tell you the best pizzas.
Yeah, just talk about
definitely
pizza.
Here we go. Here we go.
Right.
We're children of the grave. I love it.
Don't-
totally talking cheek.
Yeah.
We did this a couple streams ago. I don't know if we got to rehash the pizza.
Well, I just wanted to reiterate the facts from that stream. All right, let's see what else is going on.
Smart streamers always go for the
Well, I
seed.
get yeah.
Children of the grave. Fuck you, DC.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Fuck yourself.
I guess just to be very just for anybody that's not familiar with airdrops or that anytime there's any kind of airdrop where you have like and actually this is with the whole system state getting copied over. This is going to be really interesting, but ultimately the chains, if you end up getting a bunch of PRC tokens, so if you have ERC tokens that get copied over, which the whole system state's going to get copied over, just be aware that Pulse Hex is the one that is going to
The
have
one.
from the Hex community that people rally behind. So if you're getting, my recommendation, if you have some ETH, like random ERC coin, I would personally dump it and buy Pulse Hex with it. That's, I think, basically what a lot of people will do with the free coins that they end up getting. And rest in peace to the poor souls that end up buying like random coins, hoping to get like a 1 million. Yeah, just be aware of the coins that have the community rallying behind it. That's I think basically the trick with PulseChain.
A lot of the Hexicans that cast stones onto the traders will be the same ones who get wrecked by the haters. I'm just saying, bro.
So what you're saying, Wasabi, is all in on Pirate Chain for the sacrifice phase.
Let's go.
Somebody's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. Yeah. Someone's gonna be out there just throwing Benjamins at everything, just like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there.
It's like that Leo meme, right? $20 on groceries. You know, $2,000 on crypto. Yeah.
Safe Pulse.
Safe Pulse. Yep, I'd invest in Safe Pulse.
So sacrifice phase can get announced at any second. Second.
Yep.
That is true. It's gonna come as it can drop at any time.
An unopportune time, I swear.
It's gonna be when we're in fucking Vegas. All right.
I was gonna say, better not be, man. Shit.
Oh my god.
How bad would that be? How bad would that be?
Be like the 4th of July when everybody's on vacation, right?
All the Hexicans are meeting up, and Richard's like, guys, I've launched the sacrifice phase. God, it would be mass panic. It'd be a bunch of fucked up Hexicans trying to figure out how to get access to their crypto. It'd be so bad.
I'd rather him just delay it a little bit longer than do that. That'd be so shitty, dude.
Let's launch it in July. Overwatch said
nice.
What was that? 7 days?
Overwatch said we had at least another 7 days. I think a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation as to the timeline, but I know Overwatch is pretty active in the Telegram.
More on the know. Yeah.
So, but
that just means it puts us closer to Vegas. God damn it!
Dude, so true, man.
The Hexicans spent all the money right before you go to Vegas. Like they're all broke and shit.
Hey, man,
you guys, let's go to McDonald's, you guys. I spent all
just start hustling those streets out there. You know,
as long as the Rolex AD doesn't have any good watches, which they shouldn't, then I'll be fine. But if they got a good Rolex, then I might have to spend some money. Maybe I'll buy that green dial Daytona.
Wasn't that what Big K got or something like that?
No, Big K got a Milgauss.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
See, I'm just reading some of the comments in the chats. I think that's is there anything anybody wants to talk about? I guess Charlie, Miguel, anybody, as far as
just came here for to chill with you guys.
Maybe?
Yeah, we don't. I mean, it's just kind of a given, But like, we're not here to just. Basically, we've done a bunch of streams on that today, right? So we're just here to kind of chill with you guys because we're just this whole 5-day period or whatever, we're just streaming 24/7 basically. Yeah. So we'll have 2 hours of sleep here, 2 hours of sleep there, and then this is our life for the next 3 weeks. So we're just we're just getting ourselves in fighting shape, and so I mean, basically when we jump into the course, right, it's literally just full on crypto the whole time. So we just got to be talking crypto all day every day, and so that's what we're doing here.
The only thing I gotta say to the Hexicans, so obviously a lot of the Hexicans know what's going on with Pulse, and bless y'all because you guys are in the know. But man, I just say this because this has been on my mind so fucking much with the Hexicans. My God, you guys, man. I hope you guys are ready. I really think 99% of you guys are not ready for the shitcoinery. Honestly, I hope y'all are ready, man. But man, if you care about your money, stay in Pulse, Hex, and Hex, man. Don't fuck around too much with these other tokens.
They don't have to. That's
I mean, I know they don't have to, but that's not what I've been seeing, honestly.
Yeah, I feel it.
And I'm just saying, like, just be careful, you guys, man, because it's like, fuck, man, damn, it's gonna feel dope until like liquidity starts running out on some of these dumb little tokens,
Yeah, well, I think kind of the reality is a lot people, in general, people like to speculate. It's just kind of human nature. So, you just look at, if you look at PulseChain, just think of it as an opportunity for introducing other people into the ecosystem that otherwise would not have been involved. And you have a totally neutral, like, just here's the reality of the situation. Ethereum has tens of thousands of ideas, most of which end up failing. When you're in the open source world, it's very competitive. So on these smart contract platforms, I mean, you guys just be ready. It's shitcoinery exists on every single smart contract chain. So if you want, if you basically want to speculate or be familiar with that, DC and Charlie obviously have a lot of like, in terms of the market, they pay attention to that stuff closely. So
I mean, buying and holding and buying the good stuff, it is getting to the point now, like, there is so many things on so many different, I must be tired, goddamn, there's so many damn like projects on so many damn chains that you gotta really be like, you gotta be precise on what you're gonna pick, because you only have so much funds as well. Like, you can't, like, if you got $1 million, you're gonna put $10,000 on fucking like you know what I mean? You're gonna put like $10,000 on 100 projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
100 projects.
I guess even, if we even pull up, I'm actually gonna pull up a price chart here. I'll actually start with the Hex price chart because
dude, there's one.
I like what Reggie T is saying in the chat. That's hilarious. That's like,
what?
exactly right. Here's a playground built for you. Now don't play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at actually this is a nice chart, but let's go to charts Pro. Yeah, because when it comes to like the coins in the top 50 or whatever, I mean, what it really boils down to is which ones are out competing Ethereum to Bitcoin, which obviously Hex is doing that. If you look at other coins, I'm trying to think of like a good example. I know Celsius has obviously done really well, but there's plenty of coins that also have really shit performance in the top 100 relative to stuff like ETH and even Bitcoin. So this kind of stuff, this is really, a lot of people come into this market, and I think the whole point, like when you're speculating, you're obviously going for outsized returns, and sometimes people get, they get stuck on something that doesn't quite, perform as well. Like if you look at coins from last cycle, and I know, like, let's look at let's even pull up Litecoin, because on the USD chart, it's gone up in versus USD, but if you look at relative performance, something like Bitcoin, it obviously hasn't. This is just maybe starting to bottom out now. So relative performance is obviously really important, and you're going to see what I'm really just saying is you're going to see projects come onto PulseChain, and you're going to have an opportunity to basically speculate on all sorts of stuff on there, but just be responsible about it. I think the whole point, if you look at coins that have done really well, like obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hex is doing really well. From my viewpoint, you have these supreme stores of value that you can store lots of wealth in over long periods of time. And then with like the staking mechanisms, you can perhaps like make bets in the future, but you should really only be doing that with like small percentages of the stack. I think the whole point of the game is like you have these ultimate stores of value, and then with like ultimate stores of value, you can make very small allocations to something that hits it out of the park, and then you can then get more of like the stores of value. But the thing is, most people they obviously guess when they're entering the market. They pick a random coin. Works out for some people it doesn't work out. So just be prepared. Like there's going to be a mix of all sorts of ideas with the smart contract stuff, and it's just gonna allow for more people to be interested in the Hex, even the Hex ecosystem, because they're going to look at things like relative performance and then have more interest over time due to the price performance, which is really what all of crypto boils down to. I don't think I'll have to show it on another stream. I'll get, different, I know there's the coins you see from Richard comparing price performance and all that, but that's basically what you can do with coins across the top 100. You can even maybe to start just compare them first, both versus Bitcoin and Ethereum to start, and then you could start comparing them versus other racehorses in the market. So there's going to be plenty of speculation that goes into PRC20s. Obviously, don't speculate with your entire. Be responsible with your bags. It's I guess the best recommendation I can say with that kind of stuff. So
yeah, they don't let that greed brain overtake, because as soon as people do that, that's usually when they get wrecked. Like it's like everybody wants that, right? It's like that dopamine hit of like, ooh, yeah, like it feels good, but yeah, you just gotta. Yeah, it's hard to keep that risk management in focus when gains are to be had.
For sure. So I think that's all I wanted to say. I guess you guys, because we're getting at the 2 hour mark. Before we head out, check out what Charlie and DC are doing with the crypto mindset course. There's gonna be a stream tomorrow as well. I'm gonna stream tomorrow at 7 Pacific, covering some of the stuff going on in the Ethereum ecosystem, mostly the layer 2 stuff, to compare what the trade-offs are of, let's say, having a layer 2 versus layer 1, and how that even relates to other stuff going on like Polkadot, Cosmos, because all of that's really important to understand that stuff, so kind of where the trend is going and what experimentation is taking place in the new market. So definitely check that out. I think DC might be on the stream. I guess the main thing is I'll chat with you guys. I guess you and DC more in the green room, because I think at least for for the night stream, if there's anything you guys wanted to, because you're on this is on my channel, so if you guys want to share anything with what you and DC are working on, it's perfectly fine. I can basically give you a screen share or something like that.
We're good. We're good.
Or they're
exhausted.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm just like, I'm done chilling for the day, and like,
I think they're burnt out.
It's like, I think we go green room and we enjoy it, but I appreciate it. No, for sure.
For sure.
It's one of these things where it's like, we're here just to hang with you guys. So like, soft shield, and then if people want to figure it out, they can go figure it out.
You guys are resourceful.
Yeah.
Then,
I think crypto people are usually resourceful. So yeah.
Yeah. I will say one chill though, just one chill. I think the most valuable thing about the course, honestly, is just hanging out with all the people, dude. Fuck, man. You can't get friends and contacts like this anymore, man. In a couple of years, man, it's over. Dude, you can't, like, it's such a weird shit. Like, the longer you stay in crypto, there's less and less people you relate to over time.
Those people,
especially as the normies come in.
Yep. Dude, so these might be their last chance for friends. Hope, you guys, hope. I mean, I'm serious. It's like people won't not in a couple of years will not understand at all the position you're in. Oh, you're crying because you got to pay taxes. Oh my God! Like you didn't buy as much coins of your millions of dollars that you have now. Oh my God! I feel so bad for you. Shut the fuck. And
you're one of the 1%. Tax the rich. Pitchforks.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole tax. So even back like earlier in the stream, when we were talking about like something like the Federal Reserve, because let's even kind of rehash on the whole.
Here we go for another hour.
I was about to say, you guys stop me. We already went over the beginning. Just like
but the whole thing is
all right, let's see if we can sum it up in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
1 minute,
well,
30 seconds.
I was just gonna say, like, basically when you take money from the rich, you have those 5 people stealing money from a liquidity pool and then trying to basically dump it somewhere else. Just think of liquidity pools on Ethereum, on DEXs. That's exactly how legacy finance operates. It's literally a liquidity pool, and they're trying to steal money out of the liquidity pool and move it over somewhere else because they fucked some shit up. That's over and over again. So that's just a good way to kind of like think about it. That's all I was gonna say. I guess that's it for the stream. I guess Motley, where's the best place for people to follow you?
You can follow me, Motley Investor, at Twitter, YouTube, Telegram, and doing a stream with Cabana Crypto tomorrow with the Australians. So come hang out. It'll be fun. We usually drink, have a good time, talk a little crypto, and have a little fun. So go check out Cabana Crypto's stream tomorrow. It'll be fun. 5 o'clock Eastern.
Cool. How about you, Brad?
Pretty much just ballet brand everywhere.
Nice. All right.
I mean, you got
kind of worldwide, you know.
Well,
Valiant brand worldwide.
Yeah.
All my hours.
All my links.
Yeah.
Yes.
Consistency, I like it.
You can find me at dollar cost crypto across all platforms on this planet and this galaxy, multiverses and everything, in this universe, in the outer universe, in the multiverses and everything. Also, I have my homie, Cultivate Crypto with King Shill, and you guys should check out cryptomindsetcourse.com
Oh, baby.
for all your friends' needs. There you go.
All
Does your friend suck at crypto?
What about your needs?
My needs don't matter. For 3 weeks,
Just my
I am
friends.
yours.
I'm your bitch for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, you can buy me as your bitch.
My time is sold. Like a mule, I am sold for 3 weeks. I am yours.
How much is the course? How much is the course right now?
$7.97.
$7.97 for 3 weeks, making DC your bitch. That sounds like a good deal to me.
There we go.
I'd buy it.
No, for my channel, just go over to cultivatecrypto.com, or sorry, Cultivate Crypto on YouTube. And yeah, we'll be doing streams all weekend over on my channel at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time between now and Tuesday. And then we're off air for 3 weeks. We're not doing anything on YouTube. So yeah, we'll be doing all sorts of fun conversations over the next few days, and we'll be jumping on other people's streams. It'll be a good time.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, right on. And then remember, I guess DC, do you have that specific link? No. All right, we'll talk about it in the green room. All right, never mind.
Yeah,
never mind.
we'll throw one in the description.
Yeah.
One last jab to the audience.
One last jab. All right. Yeah, that's about it. So streaming again tomorrow, 7 o'clock Pacific. Check it out, and then if you'll get good insight into all the ecosystems and what all of it actually means. So you guys have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
For less than a teacher, you can feed a young Moses.